Hi there, my name is Marky Sparky. I got a request to do a tutorial on a Viking style house, similar to those that I have built in the Viking village video. Link down in the description. So I picked the two of my favorite houses from that world that I created there, which was the Nevercraft Season 2 series for me. And I copied them here over to my test world. This is one of them. This is the smaller house in the near to the entrance, and this is built into the cliff face in my original Viking village. And yeah, so I picked this one because I really like it, and it seems very small when you build it next to the cliff here. But for this tutorial I have expanded it to be a full house, and it is actually not that small anymore. But I will show you how to do this. And if you want to build it into a cliffside, you can obviously do that. And then I copied over this one, which was the one where I had my villager to trade inside. And yeah, but I don't want to show you the exact build of this one, because that is not how I initially had this in mind. What I actually wanted to build was something more like that. But I had to shrink this one down to fit into the actual village. But yeah, I will show you how to build this one. And as soon as you know how to do that, you can obviously shrink it down, modify it, and do whatever you like with it. Okay, first part of the tutorial, this build. Second part of the tutorial, this build. So let's start with this one. Okay, so the majority of the build is done, built with dark oak. So all the beams here are dark oak logs. And I have the stripped logs here on the facades. I think this gives it a very nice look, and it works well with the colors here. Then we have for the roof mainly dark oak stairs for the rim, and for the rest we have the spruce stairs. And yeah, we will add all the, let's grab them here, hay bales afterwards. And you can obviously have snow on top if you want to. In my village there was a lot of snow, so I actually added that. You don't have to. You also can just leave the roof plain and don't add all these hay bales. I just thought that this is a nice little detail. Yeah, so what you mainly going to need is a lot of dark oak and a lot of spruce wood. Okay, let's start with the foundation by placing down these vertical logs here. Okay, so this would be the front facade. You have a dark oak log here, you have a space of 2 blocks, the next one, then a space of 3 blocks, this is where the door will be, and then a space of 2 blocks again. And then for the side here, these are actually 11 blocks until we come over to where the next facade is. So let's just add that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And here we're going to have the same thing as over there, just like that. And the facade on that side. So this is basically the foundation of the build. Okay, let's build that up a bit. So the outer blocks here have to be 2 tall, and the one here has to be 6 tall. Same thing on the other side. 2 tall and 6 tall. And then just to get an idea of the whole scale of the whole build, I think we should build that facade here first, and then we can add the roofs and everything on top. So it's for the ground floor here, or for the base, basically it's 2 vertical blocks, then a whole line of horizontal logs here, and then this triangular shape on top, starting with 1 block, 2, and on the other side until you meet up in the center, obviously. So let's build that up. So down here we have the stripped oak logs like this. Then we need some kind of helper block here, so we can have the horizontal logs all the way over to the other side. And then we build the triangular shape, starting with 1 block on the corner, and then increasing the height by 1 block as we go. Just like that. For the window, we go here to the center, 2 blocks above the horizontal log here, and we punch out these 2 blocks. This is where the window is going to go. I will now copy this over to the other side. And there we go. Before we can put the roof on top, let's build these horizontal logs here that basically hold the roof up. So this is the normal dark oak log again. And what you basically do is you build one horizontal log on top of these two blocks here with one block sticking out. Do that on both sides. Then for the centerpiece you move up one and connect these two vertical beams here. And then on top we need another one, so let's just put a helper block here again and connect them up like this. And we do that on both sides. Okay, as you can see, we have two parts of the roof here. We have this roof that is slanted in that direction, and then we have this additional small kind of roof. Sorry if I don't know the proper names for that stuff in English. Which then connects here with this intersection kind of thing. So we have the cross on top. Both can now be placed with the help of the logs that we have just put down. So the first roof, the big one here, we just place it. We start here at the corner of the two logs that we have just put in. So grab your dark oak stairs and we start right here. Yeah. And then with this you can basically move along all the way. It is a bit hard because this is hanging over. So therefore we go in one. Because as you have seen, we have the rim of the roof with the dark oak and everything else is spruce. So that is what you can do here. Down here, fill it with dark oak and everything in there can be filled with spruce. Do that all the way almost to the top here. And then next to it, the dark oak stairs. Let me do that on both sides. Okay, just like that. Now to give this the proper shape, it is very important that you also put upside down stairs underneath the roof here. Also with the dark oak log. Do that so you don't have these very harsh corners here. But it is more like, yeah, a straight line, more or less, right? Okay, now you can see that up here we have left a space. And that is exactly because we have this log sticking out here. And we're going to do that by just putting a log right here and another one sticking out, just like that. And you can actually build this log all the way to the other side, so it is easier to build the roof on top of it. Okay, now let's build this roof right here, and for that we are going to go to this corner that we have created, and you're going to fill that with a spruce stair. And underneath a dark oak stair like that, one sticking out and one there. So you end up with something like that. Now go up again, do the same thing on the other side, just like that. Similar to what we have done with the other roof, we are also going to go and build upside down stairs underneath here. So this looks a bit more nice. And here on top, not similar to that one, we're not going to put a log here, but an upside down dark oak stair here in this space, just like that. I'm going to copy that over to the other side now. Okay, perfect. Before we add the stuff on top, we can now fill in all the rest of the roof and connect everything up nicely. And you're going to see that you will have the roof meet up on certain levels, and then you just connect them like that. Okay, now that you have done that, you will see that there's one little hole down here where the roof does not connect. Let me get in here. Yeah, just like that thing. And yeah, this is actually one reason why I put the hay bales there. Because what you can do now to get rid of that problem, replace that block by a hay bale. And the hole is gone. Okay, now you have filled up the roof completely. You should end up with something like that. We have that part to fill on the log here, and we have a line where nothing is placed yet here in this direction. And we're going to do that by placing down dark oak stairs, a iteration of, well, differently orientated dark oak stairs, starting with one facing away from the build on the corner. Same thing up here. So here where you have the dark oak rim, place one like this. Same thing here. Where the dark oak rim is not on that block though, that needs to stick out. Same thing here and here. And from that you can go in by placing one in that direction again, and then just do that from the outside to the inside. Well, here we actually need some helper blocks. That is easier then. So just fill that in with logs again. Or with any other block that you want actually. And fill it up just like that. Ah, I almost made a mistake here. Here we don't want to do that. We want to put the stair here, so this roof line is not interrupted. And we're going to fill the space that is now there with a slab. And you fill that space with a slab, this space with a slab, and here the centerpiece, also a slab. Okay, you should end up with something like that now. Now we're going to add these iconic pieces here that I also had on my Viking longhouse that kind of make it Viking looking. And we do that by starting with a upside down stair here next to the stair that we have just placed here on the corner. Upside down stair here and a slab on top. And now we need to have a stair facing this direction. For this we also need helper blocks again here, and then place a stair like this, and the same thing on the other side, just like that. And now you can do that on every corner. Here also put it like that over the outsticking block right here, so that you end up with this. And in the end it should look like this. Okay, now let's put in all the blocks that are missing here in this front facade here, which is basically just filling up here. On the inside, make sure that you have this gap from the vertical pillars here to the actual wall of the build, because this gives it the depth that you want. And in here, there's going to be the door right here, so we can place that down. And then we will have some, like a vertical thing in here. Well, on the inside you can do whatever you want, but I just put it like that now, so that you end up with this. On the second level here, we have a window. So we continue the beams like that. And, well, actually to make it look nice, just add these here as well, the horizontal ones, and then grab spruce fences and put them here into this space. Just like that. That's nice. Do the same thing on the other side. Or, well, actually you can have the door only on one side. Since I copied the whole thing over, I have it on both sides. So let's maybe not add a door on that side here. So let's do this right here. But on top we definitely want to have the window with the spruce fences again. Okay, so on the back side is a bit plain, but that is fine. Just put some bushes here and it will look amazing. Now there's a few things missing, which is basically all decoration. First of all, we need to continue the roof line here, and I made it so it is slightly curved here, which improves the look of the build quite tremendously, I think. So start here with the top of that block and then the lower part of these 3 blocks, the top of that block again, and then just put 2 additional slabs right here, so you end up with this. Same thing on the other side. Now this is looking nice already. Now let's put in all the details. And those are basically dark oak fences. So as you can see, I have the dark oak fences everywhere where there is a roof that can be held up by these things, right? So on below the roof here in the front, and here where these 2 beams meet. So let's add that in here, which would be here, there, here, and the same thing on that side. Obviously the same thing on the other side of the build. Obviously make sure to open up all the fence gates. So on the lower part I add the same thing here onto this vertical beam, and down there also here where the beams meet again. So you create kind of this, round shape here. Same thing on the other side. Okay, on the side facades we do the same thing, but not as many of those. Just put one right here, down where the roof meets this beam. Do that on both sides. And up in the center, underneath where the beam is sticking out. And also, again, same thing on the other side. Okay, we are almost done. There's just a few things missing, which is, well, the lanterns up here that are hanging basically from every corner. And then also the spruce buttons that I put everywhere as decorational pieces. And then you can obviously put more hay bales onto the roof, just randomly. And I just realized that the windows here on the side are still missing. So put your spruce fences there as well, and some spruce trapdoors next to it, and open them up. Okay, so now let's put the lanterns in. Here in the front, put them below this stair. And, well, first a chain, and then the lantern, hang it on the chain, just like that. Same thing on the other side. And then here on that side, put the chain onto the outer log block that is sticking out. And here you can vary the length. You can put 3 in or 2 in. I'd like to do that differently on both sides. Maybe 3 on the one side and then 2 on the other side. Or something like that. Okay, now the spruce buttons. As you can see, this looks a lot better than this. And this is simply because there is all the little details with the buttons there. So first of all, every log that is sticking out, put a button on it. Just like that. And then here we go onto the second block on the horizontal beam, and then with a gap of 1, just put them in like that. Same thing on the other side. And now for the hay bales, just punch out a few of the stair blocks that you have there. It doesn't really matter how many you take, well, as long as you make sure that something like this is not happening. Because then you have holes in your roof, and that is not very nice, right? But apart from that, go crazy. And there you go. Your house is finished. And now you might say, well, this one looks a lot better, right? Well, that is basically because there's also a snow on top, which is another color that you introduce into your build, which makes a huge difference. So, yeah, just put several layers of snow on top of the hay bales. Make sure that you use different layers, layer thicknesses, so you have this variation there, which adds another detail. Whenever there are 2 layers next to each other, make sure that one is maybe, for example, 2 layers thick, while the other one is 1 layer thick. Something like that. And immediately better. Now, obviously, everything that surrounds the build changes a lot, right? So, yeah, just add in podzol or coarse dirt all around, and bushes. Bushes make a huge, huge difference. See? Just like that. Well, and obviously we need a path that leads to the door, and you can also add, as I said, coarse dirt all around. And what also is very nice is just a few of these stones. Don't overdo it with those, but yeah, that's just a nice little detail. Okay, but we are done with this one. Let's move to the bigger house. So we're going to do exactly the same thing. We're going to start with the foundation by placing down the vertical dark oak logs here, and then going from down to up. Okay, start with the front corner block, and then we have a gap of 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then one here. Okay, then here a gap of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Block. And then here a gap of 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Block on the 7th. And then here gap of 7 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Block here. Go over to the other side. Here we have also this gap of 5. So here gap of 6 in this direction. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And 7 in that direction again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So block on the 8th block. So this is the basic foundation for this one. Here I have additional vertical beams with a gap of 6 as well. So that should be exactly where this one is, just here in that row exactly, and here. Yeah, so this is your foundation for this build. Everything in between will be filled with the stripped dark oak log. Just like that. Okay, I just remembered for the door, it's a bit different for this build. We're going to place them one to the inside of the build, but as with the other one, you can increase this whole part here by one more block, so you have the foundation there of 2 vertical stripped dark oak logs. Just like that. And for these vertical beams, make them 2 tall as well. Okay, similar to the other build, we're also going to have these sticking out logs. However, they are going to stick 1 block further out as for the other build. So we're going to do that. And we're actually going to start here in this center corner. So head over to that corner, increase the pillar to 1 block further, so 3 blocks. And then from that you can just build this log to this side, sticking out by 2 blocks. And over here, the same thing, sticking out by 2 blocks. And do the same thing on the other side. Okay, here in the back you will need a helper block. And then you can do the same thing, just build that vertical log all the way to the other side, sticking out 2 blocks. Okay, perfect. Now for these side bits here. So again, this is the entrance and those are the side facades. For now, just place these horizontal stripped dark oak logs, just like that. We're going to remove a few of those again afterwards. So if you're playing in survival, you're going to get a few of these logs back for the windows. But for now, just place them like this, so it is easier. And do the same thing here in front, just over here. And again, this is going to be the door. And on top of these horizontal blocks, we're going to do the same triangular shape again as we did with the other build. Start here on the outermost stripped log and start with 1 block, go to 2, same thing from the other side until you meet in the center with a 1, 2, 3, 4 high vertical log here. Do the same thing for all 3 sides. Okay, before we put in the centerpiece here, we're going to add in the basic roof shape. And for this, I hope you can't hear that. I have very weird noises in my neighboring apartments. Very weird. Yeah, so we're going to start with the second of the 2 outsticking blocks here. And start with a dark oak stair. Wow, this noise is irritating. I really hope you can't hear that. So we're going to start here. And this is going to be basically the corner. And the same thing on the other side. Wow, I'm really distracted by that noise now. It's crazy. However, we're going to simply continue and build this on all the sides. Just like that. And then from there you can just continue and, connect everything again. Same thing as with the other build, the rim is dark oak and everything in between is spruce stairs. So to make it easier here, just do that again, not to the upper block, we're going to do something different there. But you can connect everything up just like that. Okay, I've connected up all the roof parts, but I left a hole here in the center. So when you build the roof, make sure that you connect everything up. On the lowest 3 layers, so the dark oak and then 2 spruce layers, you can fill in everything. And here, where they meet, you leave a spot empty. And that spot needs to be 7 wide in this direction and 5 wide in this direction. Centered here on this roof, right? And this is where we're going to build that inset. And here on the corners, we will have dark oak logs going up 5 blocks. So let's do that first. The first one is this one, so we will need a helper block right here. So let's just didn't want to do that. So let's just put something right here into the corners. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And do that on all sides like this. So now you will have a space of 1, 2, 3 blocks in between in that direction, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in this direction. And it still needs to be centered on this and this roof, like this. Okay, now we're going to fill this in with vertical stripped dark oak blocks. We'll need a few more helper blocks, so just do that maybe. And fill that in all the way to the top. Up with vertical ones. Here you actually don't need it. If you want to save materials, just put some helper blocks here again. And in the center probably as well. Just like that. Do the same thing on the other side. And fill in the other two sides as well. Okay, now for the roof of that part. Here on top, we're going to start here in the corner with the spruce stair. And below that, the dark oak stair again. And then you can build the corner just like that. Again, around the whole thing. Just like this. And then fill it up all the way. And make sure to fill up the sides here where you need them with the vertical stripped dark oak. And again, make sure to leave the, well, top part here empty, because we're going to have these horizontal structures again. The same thing that we had on the other build. Okay, just like that. Now I remembered one thing that we did with the other build, so maybe let's just do that real quick. Underneath here, underneath all of these roof parts, again we put the upside down dark oak stair, and for the parts where we have 2 of these, just fill it all in with the dark oak stairs. Just like that, so that looks a bit nicer. Do that down here, but do it up there as well. Okay, now it's time to put in the roof parts here. We're going to start with the front section here again, and the same thing as with the other build. We're going to have a log sticking out horizontally like this, right here. So you need 3 log pieces here. And now, just to make it simpler, you can fill in everything else with this log as well. Do the same thing here on the other sides as well for the lower part of the roof. And we're going to add in these cross shapes here that make it Viking again by starting with the dark oak log, a dark oak stair facing away from the build here where the dark oak line is, just like that. Then an upside down stair against it again, the dark oak slab on top, and some helper blocks again to build the stairs just like this. Now you're going to do that on every side. Okay, all 3 sides done. Now we have to connect these parts with the centerpiece of the build by doing well, differently facing, alternating, that's the word I was looking for. Alternating stairs. So one facing this direction, then with one facing this direction. And now fill it in all the way to the center build right here. Okay, that's a tricky block. Let's get underneath here and place it like that. Exactly. Do that for all 3 sides. Perfect. Now we're going to do the same thing up here that we did with the other build. You're going to go here into the center piece, put an upside down stair right in here, and then on top we build this cross thing again that we just did. Make sure that the whole thing is sticking out 1 block, just like that. Okay, the top part is a bit tricky because it is an uneven number, but we will make it work. Just first place some blocks in here so you can actually place something down. We start with the stair facing into that direction, then put one next to it like this. Do the same thing on the other side as well. And now we have 3 blocks left. That doesn't add up, right? But what I think looks the best is just put a slab in the center and then put 2 stairs, just like that, facing to the outside. Then you have a shape like this. I think this looks the best, but you can definitely do something different here if you want to do so. So the basic build is now done. Everything else that needs to be filled in now are decorational blocks and windows and stuff like that. So let's start with the front facade right here. I hope I remember this now if I go over there. So we're going to have the door here in the center with a nice little frame around it that kind of creates this round shape. And then just put some more windows in with the window lids next to it. Don't forget about the spruce buttons and the lanterns here as well. Oh, I put one there. Why didn't I put one over here? That's funny. Let's ignore that. I think this was specific to the, world that I had it in. Okay, so let's head over here. Let's place in the door. And around the door we will have a spruce trapdoor here. One down here. One down here. The stairs here in the corners. Upside down just like that. So you have this round shape. Next to it we will create windows with these spruce fences right here and put some trapdoors next to it as the lids. Up here, the 2 centerpieces above the horizontal lock, break them out, put fences in there for the windows, and again put some trapdoors next to it. Now button action. Put one here in the center and then above the 2 windows. Don't forget to put the buttons also on these beams that are sticking out right here. Okay, now we need to add in the fence gates again. Holding up the roof, we are going to do that in all 3 corners, just like that. We're also going to add them underneath the beam here and on the beam on the outside, just like that. And obviously on both sides. For the lantern, grab your chain and put it here into the center one of these 3 outsticking logs. And yeah, just maybe put 3 in and a lantern on top. You can also just put 2 in and a lantern on top. That is totally up to your preference. Okay, with the front part of the house done, let's move to the side bits. And here we're going to have the big windows. And for this, you're going to punch out the 3 center horizontal logs here and the 3 on top. And these additional 2 ones. So you got this cross shape and you're going to fill that all in with the spruce fences to get this shape. On the sides, we put the trapdoors again for the lids. And we're going to have the oak fence gates again here, up there and down here to hold up the roof. And do the same thing here on the side as we did in the front of the house. Again, here you can also hang down some lanterns, so it all looks a bit nicer. But let's mix it up. Let's have it one higher on that side, maybe one lower on the other side, so it's different all the way around. And don't forget the spruce buttons on all sticking out bits. And then obviously do the same thing on the other side. Just like that. Okay, we got all the 3 sides done. Now these facades are missing. What I did is just filled it all with the open dark oak fence gates. But I know this is very resource heavy. If you don't have that much wood, just leave out every second one maybe. I mean, that almost looks the same, right? Or just do something entirely different. You can also put windows there if you like. But for the sake of having it similar to what I did in my Viking village, I'm going to put dark oak fence gates all around, also here on the back side of the build. Additionally, here on the back side you have these 2 vertical beams again. You can also put some trapdoors, fence gates there to hold up the roof as well. Okay, we are almost done. Now only the upper part here is missing, and for here we are also going to add in some windows here on the 2 blocks next to this center line. Again, punch out 2 and add in the fence gates and put the trapdoors next to it as the window lids. And to hold up the roof again, put some open fence gates here, here, and on the other side of that beam. Just like that. And here on that side we're going to go up 1 block, punch out these 2, so you have 1 block still left here to the roof, and add in your fences right here. Same thing again, trapdoors as window lids, and the oak fence gates to hold up the roof. You can do that exact same thing on the other side. Perfect! Now only the back part here is missing, and there I have one of these bigger windows again. So go to the center and punch out all 4 blocks, and now it is important that there is a lock here, because otherwise this will not look good. So let's just put a helper block here again, put one like this, and I actually like it when there's the top side of the lock visible, when you put in the fence blocks, because they stand here in the center, and I just think this looks nice. So fill up all the space just like that, so you get the same cross shape again as we had before. Here on the corners again, the trapdoors for the window lids, and on top, yeah, you guessed it, fence gates to hold up the roof again. And you know what? That's it. Now all you can do, if you like, is add in the hay bales here, just to break up the roof again, but this is totally optional. You don't have to do this if you don't like that. And I get that this is maybe not your style. It was just fitting to my Viking village. That's why I did that. Make sure not to break out too many of the stairs and to cluster the hay bales a bit, because I think this just looks a bit better. Okay, that's it. Add in, if you like, a few of these snow layers again, and same thing with the other build. Make sure to vary the amount of layers, so you have this extra bit of detail. And there you go, the build is finished. Again, to fit this better into the environment, add obviously path blocks and coarse dirt. And you can also put in some podzol here and there. And obviously also snow layers, because it's, well, snowy in your area, right? A bit of grass. And what always helps is bushes. And there you go, your build is finished. I don't really have interiors for these builds, because in one I just simply had some villagers, and the other one was actually empty, and I had an ender pearl teleporting system in there, I think. Something like that. But hey, go crazy, right? I hope you have enjoyed these tutorials. I hope they are helpful to you. And make sure, if you build them, well, add me on Twitter, maybe. At MarkySparky66, so I see when you build them. I'd love to see that. I hope you liked them. I hope you enjoyed them. If you have, make sure to leave a like on the video and subscribe to my channel if you haven't done that already. And if you have suggestions or requests for tutorials like that, just leave them down below, or even better, join my Discord and get in contact with me directly. Well, until next time, I hope you have a nice day, stay safe, and yeah, have a good one. Bye bye.